Hey, welcome to Dog Talk Live. We're here at Soggy Acres Retrievers in South Central Wisconsin. I hear my co-host jump off the bed, and in she comes. And we have our co-host. Come on up. Come on. Come on. She's very sleepy, so she must have had a rough day. We got our co-host Memphis. She's here on Dog Talk Live to try to bring a smile to everyone's day. Memphis is not happy that the Chocolate Lab lost the competition yesterday for favorite Labrador Retriever color. So we're going to kind of have to leave it. Do you hate it when they lick you right in the mouth when your mouth's open? We're going to probably have to kind of leave it where it was. We had the Black Lab lose to Yellow Lab, Yellow Lab lose to Chocolate Lab, and Chocolate Lab then lost to Black Lab, which means that the most popular color was everything. Go figure. It seems fair to me. Come here, Scarlett. You want to come up? Scarlett wants to come up and say hi. Oh, here we go. A big puppy. Oh, yes. So Scarlett's now here to join Dog Talk Live. She says she is the other co-host now. She pops in for everyone. Wow. One co-host was just biting the other's co-host's leg. Memphis decided to start biting her legs to try to get her off camera. I guess that's one way to defeat your competition. They now have a toy and are playing tug of war. I would love to be a dog. Wouldn't that be a great life? We're here. It is Thursday. I don't really have much to talk about. Our weather went to garbage. We went from everything was warm and 60, 70 degrees to now we are 40 degrees today with about a 30-mile-an-hour wind. These are the days that, as a dog trainer, you dread going out to work with the dogs. It's a day we're not going to do water, that's for certain. And we'll probably just work on our basics, on obedience. We'll probably do some shooting over the dogs. And just really try to reinforce good behavior on a day like today rather than teach concepts when it's kind of miserable out there. I'm sure the dogs don't mind, but hey, I do. And it's still training that you have to do. So I save that for days like today. As you check in, please let us know where you're from. We'd love to see what our reach is here on our page. Also, please let us know if you have any questions. Best way to work Dog Talk Live is to have you ask your questions. Everyone on YouTube, we're doing YouTube Live as well. Ask your questions. I will come back later and answer them. If I can read them on the screen, which I think I'll be able to, I will answer them while we're talking. Facebook, go ahead and ask your questions. Type them in as a comment. I will get to them now. If I miss one, we will come back at a later date on YouTube or on Facebook and answer them for you as completely as we can. I've got two dogs now that are trying to get on my lap, and it is getting a little wild and woolly here. So let's see. We got New York, we got Oregon, Grand Rapids, Michigan. It's great to see you guys all back. When you check in, please let me know what questions you have. We're doing this on YouTube Live. I don't know how well received this will be on YouTube, but I figured we were doing it on Instagram. Instagram doesn't save the broadcast. It just goes onto your story. And Instagram and Facebook are two similar platforms because they're owned by the same place. So I thought we'd try the YouTube Live for a while and see how it goes, see how it progresses there. I do have to get on my computer and start uploading more episodes onto YouTube, putting stuff up. With that said, I did put an episode up today on the Facebook channel. Now, that was right before this. I'm going to go on real quick and check. Let's see here. On our Facebook channel, I'm opening up another screen, so I realize you can see me on Facebook. I have two screens open now, which is bizarre for me that we can do both at the same time. Let's see. What video did I put up? I'm waiting for it to load. Training poppers and teaching marking off a gun barrel. So if you're looking for a good video to look at. It teaches you how to make a training popper with a Mech Outdoors reloader, and then to use that to teach marking off of the gun barrel using your popper, which is what it's called in dog training. And it is not a full load. You can either do partial powder, no powder, and just a primer, or you can do you can load different things in it like rice and different stuff like that. Hello, Chicago on YouTube. I can read it, so do appreciate it. You tried for the pheasant parm recipe and loved it. We do have on our YouTube channel, there is, gosh, I got to think there's like between 400 and 600 videos up there. There are recipes. So if you're looking for a recipe to try with everyone sitting at home for your wild game, you can always substitute beef for the deer, chicken for the pheasant or duck. But check it out. Let us know where you're at. One thing that we did with my son and I, we started to make apocalypse jerky, which is deer jerky during the apocalypse. Thought it was named right. We're making it in the smoker, and first batch turned out good. It was a little salty, so we got to back off on the what we put on it, but it turned out really good. Good way to use up that deer meat. Kids love it, so it keeps them constantly eating it, and it's healthy for them. All right. We get Edson, Alberta. You're welcome, Len. Duluth, Minnesota. Let's see. Sarasota, Florida. Tasha, I'm betting it's warmer down there than it is up here. Mr. Hall, how are we doing up in Rhinelander, Wisconsin? Again, this turns out best if we have people asking questions. So if you have questions, please let us know what they are. If you do not... let's see here. If you do not have anything right now and you come up with something later, please put it back up on this as a comment. If it's something you don't want to ask now and you want to put it up later so I can answer it, you can do that. Or you can email me at, so let's see here, sportingdogtv@gmail.com. That is my email. You can send it there, and we can try to help you out with an answer there. We've had everything. We've had people drop us messages after we were off. I've had people email me on our page as well as on my personal email. So more than happy to help you. Again, we're talking today about the training poppers and marking on a gun barrel. So we're going to make, this is my gun. Very big gun. It's a pen gun. We're going to unload it there, decock it. So you're going to put your popper in your shell, or in your firearm. You're going to have it, and you're going to have the dog. I like to sit on a bucket or in a chair, have the dog at heel, and then tell them mark. Move the gun barrel. Over exaggerate it with your body, so you're really bringing the dog in, and so that the dog is like, wow, what's that? As you're doing that, you can have someone throw a bumper for you, or if you have a bumper thrower, you can bumper launcher, you can launch it. If you do that consistently with your dog while you're out there doing your training, it is awesome watching them when you're on the hunt, because they're constantly watching where you're going and what your gun barrel is doing. The other thing is you can start with just a primer and have a small pop and add powder with your Mech Outdoors reloader, and eventually have it so that you have an actual realistic shot. Great way to get your dog conditioned to gunfire. A lot of people are always asking different ways you can do it. This is a great way to introduce gunfire to your dog so that you can really get them as they're heading on the path to being field ready. All right, do you hunt all up during the year? Marty asked. Marty, I own 30 dogs, probably 25 or so, 20 to 25 dogs. I don't know what the exact number is right now. Of our females live with families. We place them in homes. They live with these families. And we look for an active family that has an active lifestyle that's going to be great for the dogs. A lot of them do hunt, so these dogs do get out and hunt. Our thing with our breeding dogs is we just want them to have a good life. We do evaluate them. We do check them for health before we use them in our breeding program. But a lot of those dogs are hunted. On my dogs at home, they all get hunted. They don't get hunted enough because I have too many. I have anywhere from 5 to 6 dogs here at my house, depending on who's running competition. 2 of them, Pickett and Rommel, They're both retired, so they're older. Scarlet and Memphis are kind of my class clowns. They aren't highly trained; they're gun dogs. I take them out on duck hunts as well as pheasant hunts. And the two dogs that I'm excited to get out with this year that will be fun. I've got my dog Ace and my dog Tankback. They're both young dogs. Ace is 4 years old. He's got his master title, finish title, qualified all age. He's passed the grand, got one pass. Tank is finish titled. I've had them both out this spring, running them on some different stuff, and really fun dogs to run. I can't wait to get them out and get them hunting. Last year we kind of got robbed a little bit. I wanted to take the young dogs out and hunt them early, and then we flooded completely and we were done as far as waterfowl hunting, at least on our property. I didn't venture out anywhere on trips. It was the first year I hadn't been out filming in 9 years, so it was nice to stay close to home. I'm hoping we get normal rain this year in Wisconsin. We'll have solid hunting opportunities all year long. We also have a lot of public grounds up by us, so I would assume that the public grounds where they stick pheasants out will be a good hunt as well. So this year I'm hoping to get all the dogs out out of all the dogs in the house. Again, 2 of them are retired, so I'll have 4 to hunt. What I do is when I go up on trips, I usually take a majority of the dogs, but I won't take all the dogs along that I'm going to hunt. I'll take the old guys along because, well, they sleep a lot. Take like 2 of my other dogs along. On waterfowl hunts, I only take out 1 dog. I like to only have 1 because then I can give my full undivided attention to that 1 dog. So I hope that was a long-winded answer, but hey. If training a single dog, how long do you train the dog before you break off and have fun to avoid burnout? Jeff Hall asked. Jeff, that's a great question. I work with dogs in our training usually twice a day. The time that I'm working with them where I'm putting pressure on them is usually somewhere in the neighborhood of 5 to 15 minutes. I have through the years found out that the more you have fun with the dog, and sometimes even the more breaks you give the dog, the more you get out of them. If you are just grinding a dog on training, you can grind them right into the ground and get it to the point where they are not having fun and they don't want to work for you. When you are working on force fetch, your e-collar training, and your obedience, that is all pressure. All pressure, all pressure, all pressure, and it's so hard on the dogs. You can actually watch them as they're pretty much just completely unhappy. And you get to the point where you have to take the pressure off them because they are just bummed. So it's getting them so you make your point so they're behaving the way you want and then backing off and making things fun. And you're doing that during weeks of training, but you're doing it the same day a lot too, where you're just pulling back and you're giving them that time so that they are having fun and they are working well for you. So hope that answers your question. Please, if you guys have more questions, throw them out there. We'd love to answer them. Dog Talk Lives run anywhere between 15 and 30 minutes. We try to keep it below 30. Let's see. I'm looking right now. All right, just checking to make sure we didn't have any chats on YouTube as we are looking into this. Again, it's something where we're here to help answer any questions. And it's kind of a fun thing. We're going to run a poll today. Our poll, which you can't do on YouTube because I don't know how to set up a poll, so I apologize. But you can on Facebook. Our poll is, what type of hunt do you like? Big game or wing shooting? So everyone can go ahead and click on what their favorite hunt is, and we'll see who wins. Oh, what's that? Oh, I do apologize. Long night last night. I had Scarlett was dreaming multiple times, and she sleeps in bed, so she woke me up a bunch of times, chasing I would assume ducks and pheasants in her sleep, howling, growling, and running while she's laying on her side. Go ahead and vote. So far, wing shooting is at 100%, and hopefully we can get a good fun poll out of this. Let us know what questions you have. Again, our video that we have up is marking on gun barrel. You have the dog sit next to you. You over-exaggerate in front of the dog so they're swinging with the gun barrel. And then using a popper or a reload that has first only a primer and then light load and then heavier load in it for your sound simulation. Great way to get the dogs into being shot over at a low level, and also teach them something else where you're chaining two things together. You're teaching them their you're teaching them their noise, as well as you're teaching them how to mark off a gun barrel. Marking off a gun barrel is really cool. I mean, if you do it, you'll watch dogs, and as birds come in, the dogs are watching. On that note, when I'm out hunting, a good tip for me that I give people is, it's funny because people will always look for birds when they're out hunting with a group of guys. And I can honestly tell you that I have saw more birds, at least when they're out in front or above, by when I'm shooting the crap with my friends and drinking coffee and having fun. I watch the dog. Dogs have an uncanny ability of being way more focused than humans. And it is funny because you'll see the dogs looking, and they've got that intent look, and then you know there's a bird. Now, could be a blackbird, could be a Tweety bird, but it is nice because they give you a good warning. So my thing is, I will look for birds myself, but I always watch the dog as well to see what the dog is looking at. Sometimes you get where they get bored and they fall asleep, but dogs are a great way to let you know when there's birds in the area. Kingston, Mass. from Ken. Hello, Ken. No kennel at night, Jeff. No, they don't go in the kennel at night, Marty. I just think of what you're talking about. No, my dogs sleep in bed with me. We have one. Ace usually sleeps with Callahan up in his room. Rommel sleeps out in the living room with his cat. He has a pet cat that they sleep together. And then in my room is Scarlet and Pickett in bed, or Scarlet and Memphis in bed, and then Pickett is usually on a bed on the floor. My wife and I squeeze in there somewhere. It's when I get the dogs after they're really exercised, they are so wound up, and it'll be to the point where you can't hardly get any sleep yourself because they're dreaming. We are at wing shooting is at 100%. That is amazing. I thought that Big Game would have a few votes, but it's not going to get any votes. That's interesting. Again, our poll question is: what is your favorite hunt, wing shooting or big game? We are a wing shooting type page with the dog emphasis, but I will tell you that man, it's a tough vote for me. I really love deer and elk hunting, and I would say I probably err on the side of going on a deer and an elk hunt, and then use the upland and waterfowl to fill in my time after that. But everyone's got their thing that they love to do, and it's always interesting running polls. Our last polls were on Labrador Retriever colors, and yellow beat black, chocolate beat yellow, and then black beat chocolate. So I guess all three colors are supreme because no one was a clear winner. Let's see, go through our questions here. Good afternoon. The Pocono Mountains in Pennsylvania. How are you doing, Mr. Ron? Let me know what questions you have. We are coming up on, well, we're over the 15-minute mark. So if we don't have any questions here in the near future, we're gonna pull it and call it for today. We will be back tomorrow. Oh, I just had a really nice greenhead fly through and land right in the pond. It's really cool. I've got a pond right outside, so I will sit here and watch ducks of all types. This year we had full drake shovelers, which are a beautiful bird, sitting out in the pond. I've had full plume widgeons. We've got mallards and wood ducks so far this year. So it's always nice to be able to see them. Jeff Duffner asks, what age do you start a pup on water retrieving? Jeff, it's going to depend on time of year more than what age. I want to make sure the water is warm enough, especially if it's a really young pup, so that it's enjoyable. If it doesn't have to be necessarily that warm, you can find an area that's got shallower water, which is what I do this time of year, where the sun hits it and it warms that water up because it's only a foot or two deep. But you're going to want to make sure that you don't, one, throw the dog in, but two, that the dog doesn't have a shocking experience of going in and freezing its butt off. I don't start working on formal retrieve training until a dog is 6 months old. Everything before then is going to be low pressure puppy type play. The other thing you can do is get another dog out, or have a neighbor or a friend that has a dog, and let the dog jump in and let the puppy see that. I do that a lot, where I'll take these dogs out with another dog and let them see the other dog retrieving. And usually they get so competitive that they just go in. You can start by throwing it on land with two dogs. Get them warmed up a little bit, get them so they're a little warm, a little hot, and then throw it in the water. And the dog that is the seasoned water dog will go in, and the other dog will end up wanting to go in because, well, they just want to go and get that retrieve. So it's always kind of an interesting thing. Hope that answers that. Let's see. You're welcome, Marty. My phone cut out. Not sure if you already answered my question. Sorry, Randy. Let's see. I'm going to go back and look for your question. Do you keep a dog first aid kit with you when out hunting or training or away from home? What does your kit include? I did not answer that, Randy. Thanks for asking because I didn't see that one pop up. I have a first aid kit that we put together myself. It's got a stapler. It's got a staple remover. It's got something called Blue Coat in it, which is for dogs and horses. It's a topical that you put on. It's got Neosporin. Oh my goodness, what else do I have? It's got peroxide. It's got a soap that you'd use for wounds, a wound soap. It's got some non-stick gauze. And then I have something called Vet Wrap. Vet Wrap is something generally most people use for horses, but it's a really stretchy wrap. So when you put that piece of gauze on, you can wrap it around, and then it adheses to itself. It sticks to itself. I've got tape. I always have duct tape as well in my truck. Sometimes I will use that. Oh, Scarlett wants everyone to see her toy. Scarlett, well, let's see. Can't get her toy from her. That's Scarlett's toy. I will use duct tape on things if it's a dog that's a chewer and pulling stuff off. The other things that I carry, I have amoxicillin, cephalexin, and metronidazole. And that is going to be for internal infection, skin infection, and parasitic infection in their abdomen. So if you get the squirts or something from drinking bad water. That is what I carry. Most people probably can't access all of that stuff, but if you can, it's a pretty great thing to have along so that I have Rimadyl as well, which is Rimadyl is a de-inflammatory. So that is what I carry along for my jump bag. I have one at my hunting property. I've got one in my truck, and I've got all the same stuff here at home. So it's nice because I could pretty much hit anything if I'm out and away. Now, my hunts don't take me there as much now. When we had the TV show, we'd be in remote areas where there was no vet, so you're your own vet, basically. Now I'm hunting at my property and at my house, so I've got vets close by, so a lot of that stuff I wouldn't even worry about using, but it is nice to have that stuff. Hope that answers that for you, Mr. Randy. And we are getting to the end now. Check this out. This is my hair. Yeah, I know it doesn't look that long, but for me, it's long. I am going to shave it this weekend. Well, rather, my wife is going to shave my head this weekend. No barber during quarantine, no problem. We'll just cut it all off. I always wear a hat anyway. I hate hair. I've been blessed with a lot of it, and but it's got to go. So I don't see the barbershop getting opened anytime soon. I'm going to shave my head this weekend, and we're going to go from there. Wing shooting is at 100% on our poll, so we're just going to publish those results that it was 100% wing shooting. Big Game got 0 votes. Good for you guys. We stuck with our roots there. We stuck with what got us here. All right, thank you. I made my own that contains most of all of what you listed off, except for some of the other meds. I keep it in a waterproof ammo box, take it back and forth with me to the field and the boat. Not a problem, Randy. Yeah, if you can get a hand on those, having a kennel, I get that stuff because I have it here for the dogs. But if you can get that stuff, get your vet to give you a prescription of it. The key to antibiotics, if you have them, when you're not out in the field, put them in a refrigerator. They stay longer. So that would be all I have for you on that. All right, so we are pretty much at the end of it. We're going to call today's Dog Talk Live. Again, I appreciate you guys stopping in here to listen to me. I hope that I'm giving you good information. At times I feel like I'm babbling because you kind of run out of stuff to talk about. But if you have questions and you're watching this after the fact, please let me know what they are. I will answer them to the best of my ability. If you don't want to put them on here, my email is up, sportingdogtv@gmail.com. Our website for the kennel is soggyacres.com. We've got a lot of information on there if you're looking for a puppy. If you don't end up getting one from us, use our site so that you can do good research for yourself. And from there, we're gonna basically come on here Monday through Friday, try to at least do a Dog Talk Live for y'all, so that you can have something to do other than sit at home and deal with reality. Hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you later. Take care. God bless.